Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Finance Lingo. I'm sorry for my absence for 1 month without any upload of videos, but I'm going to talk about Soilbuild REITs today in this video. So once again, let's start off with a disclaimer. This presentation is provided to you for general information only and does not constitute a recommendation and offer a solicitation to subscribe for, purchase, or sell the investment product mentioned here. Alright, so here we are. Today we are going to discuss on the Soilbuild REITs. So this is the Soilbuild REITs that we are going to look at. So this company mainly involved in some real estate investment trusts, business REITs, and some industrial REITs. That's my understanding so far. So here we are. Okay, let's take a look at the share price on last Friday, 12th of May closing price. This closing price is at 68 cents. So the opening and the closing price, there was no material change here. So okay, the bid and ask is at 675 and 680 cents. So here we are. Okay, this is the REITs. So let's start off with looking at the live chart. So what we have here is this is the chart of Soilbuild REITs. So okay, so this is the daily chart, but I'm going to see the weekly chart instead to see how the share price have been moving. Okay, so what we can see here is that this share price back then actually sometimes back in 2004 was around 78 cents and recently came down to 63 plus cents and rise back up to about 68 cents. So what we can see here is that the peak was around here. But what I noticed here is that recently it entered to some very attractive entry zone. So basically what we are looking at here is that I noticed there's what we call double bottom around here. So you can see this is really bottom price and it's the share price start to go back up. So all we can do here is we actually draw a support line over here. Okay, we can see that there's some support price over here. And apart from that, there were some short-term trends over here, the support price around this region. Okay, so I can see that there's pretty good entry price around this region that there's some people disposing of here and some people actually quickly buy up the shares here. So when we look at the monthly chart, okay, so since the IPO time in late 2012, so there was some rebounds over here, some very good entry over here. So okay, there was a sharp drop here. I think there was some corporate announcement on some rights issue or something like that. So share price start crashing down. But apparently, what I noticed is that this is a pretty good entry price around here. I wouldn't say this is the best, but unfortunately, when I noticed this, the share price is already reached this region. So nonetheless, I think it's still a pretty good buy. The monthly RSI is pretty low right now. We are looking at only 44. As compared to the past, which RSI was at 80, I see that this is still a pretty good entry price, no doubt. Okay, so this is the charts that we are looking at. So personally, I'm going to use CPF to buy these shares, just a fraction of that. I'm not going to buy too much, but some of it to keep for dividends. So okay, that's all for the charts. I think the chart is attractive. Okay, so what we are going to look at next is the market depth of this share price. So the market depth on the last Friday closing. So this is what we have on the buyer side on the bid volume, B volume. So I can notice that there's a pretty good, decent demand as compared to the seller side. I noticed that there's a 1 million shares demand and 9.9 million and 4.7 as compared to the 210.73, right? 210.73 versus the 10.947, a pretty good demand over the supply. The rest, I don't regard those below as a serious buyer or serious seller. I just usually take the first few levels. So nonetheless, I do see that there's a pretty short-term good demand over the supply. All in all, I think that this is a pretty decent entry point. Okay, uh, presently I'm actually bidding at 68 cents on this coming Monday. Okay, so this is the market depth. Alright, next we are going to look at the IPO. Okay, this is the Soilbuild IPO in 2012. I'm just going to enlarge it. Okay, it was offered on the December 2012 at the share price of 78 cents. Okay, well, I did not participate in this IPO. I do not see that there's any immediate upside directly. But nonetheless, I think the share price came down. So I take a look at this stocks once again. So what we can see here is that the share price at 68, and previously it was offered at 78, so a pretty good discount buy as compared to those people who bought it then. So this is the IPO price at then. Okay, now we're going to look at the dividends of this Soilbuild. So what we see here is that the Soilbuild have been giving up pretty decent dividends of about 1.5 cents every 3 months, every quarterly. So investors can really look forward to some dividends as passive income. So okay, here we are. This is the dividends. So next one we're going to look at is the recent announcement. So I'm just going to click the first quarter results. Okay, you guys can go to the SGX announcement. I just repeat. Okay, just go to SGX company information, company announcement. You'll be presented with this page and go down to the corporate announcement. And what I did was I go to the first quarter results to read up some of the corporate presentations. So what we see here, I'm just going to click the presentations on this first quarter results. Okay, I've went through this PowerPoint. I'm not going to spend much time going through the entire list. You guys can read up yourself. I'm just going to jump straight to the slide number 8. Okay, so slide number 8. Okay, so what we see here is that for the first quarter to financial year 2017, okay, based on the dividend distribution per share, okay, what we can look at is that this share price, based on the share price of 67 or 68, you are looking at about 8.8% dividend yield per annum basis. So what we see here, that this is a pretty good dividend yield as compared to what we can have in the CPF OA. So all in all, yes, our risk is involved in shares nonetheless. It's always the case, but 8.8% is really attractive. It really makes me decide, should I enter now or should I enter later, or should I not enter at all? So to me, I think I think it's okay. It's pretty good, decent entry. So next, I'm just going to go down to page. Okay, before that, I'm just going to go back to the slides number. Where am I? Okay, slide number 14. I'm just going to go now to slide number 14. Okay, this is slide number 14. So we do have some very important information here. Okay, so what I'm very concerned here will be the interest coverage. Okay, of course there are other factors is important, but while I went through that, I don't see it's a very critically important. But interest coverage right now we are looking at is 5.0 times. What this interest coverage means is that for every interest rates movements, every increase in interest rates, how well covered the net profit is against the interest rates. So when interest rates go up, business REITs income tend to be less. Okay, so but given 5 times more than what the interest they are paying, I think this is pretty decent. Okay, but at the same time, this do need to take note that this company is given Moody Baa3 ratings. To me, it's pretty okay. This stock definitely does not deserve an A grade, but at the moment it doesn't deserve a C grade as well. To me, I'll just say it's a B grade stock as well. That's how I think, how I view it. So this is the interest coverage. Next, I'll just go on to slide number 17. Okay, so this REITs, what we can see here is that their industrial properties is located all around Singapore. Okay, if you guys have a concern of does the REITs actually exist, you guys can take a bus and just go around these industrial estates and look for them, or just Google for their exact location and walk around their industrial estates. Okay, so all these properties are all within Singapore premises, so it's very easy to identify them. Alright, so next I'm going to go on to slide 22. Okay, where we are. Okay, so here we see here is that this portfolio is diversified through various industry. So there are various companies. So I see that it's pretty well diversified. I'm not very concerned on this. Okay, but nonetheless, what I can see that they are pretty, the portfolio income is all come from various sources and not concentrated on one. Alright, so this is it, and next we're just going to go on to the industry. So this is the industry, various industries. So right now we can understand the oil industry is pretty bad, but other than that, all the industries, I think apparently technology industry is doing very well this year. last year as well. So well, I can see that in the market it's always like this. Oil do well, the other business do better, and some do badly. So what we can see is really well diverse. So it's a very good diversification they have do. So well, you can go through the rest. I'm not going to go through in details. All right. So okay. So all in all, next we are going to go to the annual report. Okay. So to obtain the annual reports, you just need to go to the company websites. Okay. Soilbuild.com if I'm not wrong. SoilbuildREITS.com, and after that go to the investor relations. All right. Just click on the announcements or some publication, look for annual reports. Okay, and click on this. Okay, but of course I've downloaded it, so I'm not going to waste much time. Okay, so where we are. Okay, here, this is the annual report. Okay, I'm just going to okay, before that I'm just going to, okay, this is the annual reports 2016. Alright, 2016 of this Soilbuild REITs. I'm just going to jump straight to the point what I'm concerned here. Okay, so what we see here is that I'm just going to go to page 6 of this annual reports. Page 6. Okay, so this is the key financial highlights. This is the annual report. The revenue has been growing in a pretty good, decent trend. I think the company is doing well. Right, and but of course, this is the grading by different credit rating agencies. None of them give them an A grading, but none of them give them a C grading as well. Personally, I think that this is just a B grading stocks. Will upgrade in the future and likely downgrade. Not in the short run anyway. So this is the Moody grading. So B grading. Okay, so next I'm just going to go to page 12 of this annual reports. Okay, so what we are doing here, page 12. Okay, we are just going to list now the key persons of this company. So what we see here is that we're actually list now that Chong Ki Chong is the chairman, and the various directors, Mr. Ng Fok, Ng Lai Fok Victor is the non-executive directors, Michael Ng Seng Tak is the non-executive directors. Next we go on to page 30. Lim Chat Huat. Okay, Lim Chat Huat is very interesting. He's the non-executive directors, and he looked pretty old as well. So next is Ho Tian Bun, Ho Tun Ba, and Lim Cheng Hua as the non-executive directors. And for subsequently we have Roy Seng Hua and Lim Hui Hua as CEO and the CFO respectively, and Teo Lee Chung as the head portfolio managers. So I'm just going to go straight to page 150. Okay, so let's go to page 150. When we look at the shareholder statistics, what we can see here is that Mr. Lim Chat Huat here is on the 20 largest shareholders. He is ranked the highest in the shareholders. So what I say here is that this non-executive directors, no doubt he's just non-executive director, but he's an informal form of boss in this company. Alright, so what we are seeing here, okay, you can just go through the list yourself, and we have a further breakdown of the managerial directors unit holdings. Still, nonetheless, I summarize it for you. You guys can go through this. Is that what we are looking here is that the chairman is one of the major shareholders, as referenced to here, Chong Ki Chong, and for the rest, they are as well some of the other directors are shareholders as well. With exception to Mr. Lim Chat Huat, he's the one of the major shareholders. No doubt he may not be the chairman, he may not be the CFO, CEO, whatsoever, but he's the one major shareholder. So whatever he says does have a major impact. Okay, so yeah, so what we can see here is that a significant board members actually are the shareholders of this firm. So yeah, stock market we do have win and we do have losses, but all you can see here is that this ship is driven not only by the board as well as is also driven by the shareholders. So I can think that what I can see that whatever decision made is tend to be in the interest of shareholders, because the board of directors are the shareholders themselves. So apart from that, I do notice one more interesting thing here is that substantial unit holders here we have the Scotia Private Limited and the Wealthy Fountain Holdings Incorporation. So these two I noticed is just fund management firms or private equity management firms. So what you can see, I do understand that Scotia is a pretty good fund manager. So with these two fund manager on board, it's pretty interesting that they see that this REITs does have a really significant good potential. So all in all, that's what I think for the REITs, these REITs, how well it did, and quite interestingly, I put NTUC, put FairPrice Corp as inside as well. So I can see that I think a lot of uh, uh, fund managers and equities managers do think that this is a pretty decent REITs to keep in the portfolio. So apart from that, I just need to highlight to you guys that when you want to trade these stocks, what I can see is that you can also buy using CPF using this stock. So apart from NTUC, apart from the board of directors, has been the shareholders as well. Major shareholders is the independent non-executive directors. You can buy using CPF. So and the charts also give you a pretty good entry price as shown earlier. So I think this share price to me is a very good entry. I'm looking to buy these shares as well. So I've placed my bid at 68 cents using CPF. So hopefully Monday, once the market open, I can get some shares. I'm not buying much. It just probably makes 5% of my portfolio, 4% of my portfolio. Once the share price got by about 10%, I'm probably looking to exit. So what price am I looking to exit? So I'll just give you a rough guide of what I'm looking at. This is a pretty decent stocks. So I'm just going to I'm looking to exit around this fair price. So at first I'm going to looking at maybe 71 or around 74 cents. So or the next one highest will be probably 77 cents also, but I'm going to exit the share price. So if anything is just over around here, I'm just going to keep these shares. Alright, so I think that's all for today. So that's all. So if you guys have any question, you can just drop me an email at the rolandpbk@philip.com.sg, or if you have any quick inquiries, you can just call my office number at 653-20126. I'm located at 2250 North Beach Road, which is Raffles City. Okay, on the 6th floor, you can just call and look for me. So that's all for today. Hope to see you guys again. Goodbye.